story title, The Tree That Never Stopped Believing in Me. Welcome back to Inspire Talks by RK. Before we start, if life feels heavy, if you're tired of being strong, if you feel like you're fighting alone, don't skip this. Just listen. I promise this story will remind you of the strength you forgot you had. When I was 8, I found my first safe place in the world. It wasn't a person. It wasn't a home. It was a tree. Behind our old house stood a massive oak tree, older than anyone in the town could remember. It stood alone, far away from every other tree, as if it didn't belong. Yet somehow it belonged everywhere. I don't know why, but that tree felt like a living soul, a silent protector, a friend that never left. Whenever the world hurt, I went there. Chapter 1. The first friend I ever had. I didn't have many friends growing up. I was that quiet kid no one noticed unless they needed someone to laugh at. So every afternoon, while other kids played, I would sit under the tree, knees close to my chest, and talk to it. I told the tree everything, my dreams, my secrets, my fears, my heart. It never replied, but it always listened. There were days I cried until I had no tears left. But every time I looked up, its branches were still there, wide, open, unshaken. That was the first time in my life I truly felt safe. Chapter 2. The year everything broke. When I was 11, the biggest storm in 20 years arrived. The wind screamed like it wanted to destroy the world. I watched through the window, terrified. The storm ripped roofs, knocked fences. Everything fell. The next morning, the first thing I did was run to the backyard. And there it was, the oak tree, not fallen but wounded. Huge branches on the ground, leaves everywhere, deep cracks across its trunk. It looked like it had been attacked by life itself. My chest tightened. I hugged the broken bark and cried, whispering, "Does pain always break the things we love?" But seasons passed, and when spring came, the impossible happened. New leaves, new branches, new life. The tree didn't just survive, came back stronger. That was the first time I learned. Being hurt doesn't mean you're finished. Sometimes pain makes you more powerful. Cloud with Rain, Chapter 3. The years I forgot about it. Adolescence changed everything. New school, new people, new ambitions. I started believing I didn't need the tree anymore. I stopped visiting, stopped remembering, stopped caring. Life moved fast, and I got lost in trying to be someone everyone liked. I didn't know it back then, but growing up can make you forget the things that kept you alive. Black Heart, Chapter 4. The day I hit my breaking point. Years later, I was 23, and for the first time, I understood what true emptiness felt like. Everything collapsed. Red heart, someone I loved left without goodbye. Broken heart, dreams I chased slipped through my hands. Money bag, money problems. Hospital, a family emergency. Tornado, and the crushing pressure of pretending to be okay. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to cry to anyone. I just wanted silence. Without thinking, my feet walked to a place I hadn't seen in years. The backyard of my childhood home. And there it stood, the oak tree, not as huge as I remembered because I had grown, but still strong, still rooted, still there. It didn't ask where I had been. It didn't ask why I left. It just stood, waiting for me like it always knew I'd return. I sat under it, like that same lonely child again, and I broke down. I cried until sunset, and the whole time, the tree didn't move, didn't judge, didn't hurry. Sometimes silence heals more than words ever could. Chapter 5. the truth I needed to hear. When my tears finally stopped, I looked at the trunk. There were scars all over it, burn marks from kids playing, names carved by people who never returned, cuts from axes when someone once tried to chop it down. Everyone who passed took something from the tree, shade, wood, memories, and yet it still kept giving, kept growing, kept standing. That was the moment I finally understood the lesson I searched for all my life. Strength doesn't mean you never break. Strength means you break and still continue. Chapter 6. What the tree teaches me even today. I visit the tree every year now. Sometimes life is good, sometimes it isn't. But every time I sit under it, I remember, storms don't last. Loss isn't the end. Healing takes time. But nothing beautiful ever grows quickly. And just like the tree, you will lose parts of yourself. You will face storms that leave scars. You will be abandoned by people you loved. But as long as you stay rooted, as long as you stand up one more time, life will bloom again. Not instantly, not perfectly, but beautifully. A message to you from the tree. Maybe right now you feel broken. Maybe life has taken too much from you. Maybe the world forgot how to love you. But listen, you are still here. That is your proof of strength. You don't have to be okay every day. You just have to keep standing. Because one day when the storm ends, and it will end, you will bloom again. Your feedback helps me get better. Did anything feel off or could be improved? Let me know in the comments. This is Inspire Talks by RK, and I'll meet you again. Not to change your life, but to remind you that your life can still change.